Hi, this is Chloe from Inner Whispers. I tend to focus more on tarot decks than on oracles, but I decided to make an exception with this deck, which I've wanted since I saw it on Tiferet Tarot's blog, and I asked for it for Christmas and nobody got it for me, so I finally caved in and bought it for myself. Let's dig on in. So it's quite a small size compared to a tarot deck. It's not as tall, and obviously it's a bit more square. It comes with a fairly detailed little book. There are sample readings and let's see what else. So information on each of the cards as well. But yeah, goodly chunk of sample readings, which is nice here at the front. And then a little description of each card. Relationship message, prosperity message, and protection message, as well as the essential message, and a little grayscale image, and that's for all of the cards, of which there are 52. So that's the book. And the cards themselves have the lovely golden gilded borders, which Hay House quite often do, which is always a nice touch. And let's have a look through all of these 52 cards. So we start with, they're quite sticky. We start with Yang and move straight on into Yin. Between Worlds. So they're a kind of combination, partially photographic and partially it looks painted almost. Really quite sticky pulling them apart, but I think they'll be fine once they have been separated. Like many of Colette Baron-Reid's other decks, they have quite interesting messages, and she does always seem to get fairly good artists to work with her. My first impression is that they're quite playful and charming. I somehow, from what I had seen on Steve's website, thought that they were more painted, less photographic. And this bunting thing at the top is interesting. Not all of the cards have it, but quite a few do. So I wonder what that is supposed to mean. And this is clearly one of those decks that you could very easily use for a message from Spirit at the end of a reading, and also for daily guidance. Yes, daily guidance becomes gaily guidance. Okay, it's going to be one of those days. They're quite fun messages. And it's interesting, the back of the box says that it has a connection with tarot. Let's have a look. It says, expertly blended elements of traditional tarot and other ancient divination tools into a sacred communication system. Can't say as I see the tarot connection really. I mean, I guess 17 has stars in it and it's called the Fates. But fundamentally, it doesn't seem to have anything much to do with tarot, which is just fine because I wasn't expecting that at all. More bunting. I wonder, is it because the bunting is about celebration? The colour palette is really beautiful. I like these sort of somewhat muted colours, and there's a lot of egg shapes and stars, which are symbols that work well for me. Hey, I think I need this card constantly by my side. And there are a lot of faces in here, sometimes as part of a full person, so to speak, and other times kind of appearing within objects, or like there are faces in these building blocks, if you see them up close. And a face inside this person's dress. I guess maybe that's the soul looking out is part of the idea. Maybe. Tick-tock times are running. This is one of the cards that first drew me to the deck. Here and now, being present in the moment. And once again, an egg shape there. So there's a lot here that sort of speaks to me of celebration, connection, and a soul connection, or listening in through your soul. Sorry about the funny sucking noises the cards come apart. What do we find when we're on the edge? Living on the edge. And is it a good or a bad thing if a story is never ending? I've never been someone who wanted to, for example, be cybernetically frozen or live forever in a computer memory or whatever. I think it's good to have an end to things. But hey, that's one perspective. And maybe it's because we'll then have a new life to start fresh and clean. That feels like it could be something relevant, important. Very sweet soulmates card. And this one is clearly the old adage about what did you do before enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. What did you do after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. I'm really going to have to look at what the bunting means to collect Baron-Reid, because it's on a lot of cards. I wonder whether these are linked in some way that will become more apparent when using the deck, or if you use the deck for larger spreads. Or whether, like the stars here, they're just another symbol of happiness, of celebration, perhaps. Poised for a celebration. This one's very cute. No place like home. The land of milk and honey. So I think that these cards will be quite easy to use even without looking at the book. And they're the mending the bunting that we've seen throughout the rest of the cards. As I say, quite easy to use for a spiritual message at the end of a reading. Now that they have been fully unstuck, they seem to shuffle easily. They also have this very nice reversible bag, if you care for reversals with your Oracle decks, which I normally don't, but hey, everyone has that choice open to them. And it's quite a kind of fractal seashell thing, once again with a face. Faces are very omnipresent in this particular deck. That isn't something I necessarily remember from some of her others. So, a beautiful deck, and let's do a quick, what is the first message of this deck? New life. Certainly it's a new beginning for this deck with me. Blessed be.